I've been thinking about the cost of becoming and what comes with it, what comes with growth, transformation, and evolution. And right now, it feels like I'm paying the price for all three. A normal experience for me now, but there's always somehow some form of novelty. See, no matter what, it's not and won't ever be the same price every shift, every change, and every transformation. There's a difference between the three. And to me, this cost sits within the spectrum. On the lower end of the spectrum, you have change. The midway point is transformation. And then obviously the last you have evolution. And none of this is ranked by hierarchy. With that being said, let's go to change. Change is the lowest out of the two, but the cost still has some weight to it, because change either can be or feel instant, or it can compound over time, and it can also be unseen. But either way, the moment you decide to change, you'll be met with resistance. And that resistance, it starts off as internal. It can look like a bad habit getting louder. It can look like overthinking, rumination. It can look like self-doubt or imposter syndrome, as you want to call it. But then there's also the external resistance. And shit, boy, I tell you, when it's already loud internally, that external shit can feel so overwhelming. Because it's like you're already dealing with that shit from your internal world. So it's like when the external comes in, you're literally fighting two battles at once. But for me, I like to see this as a test. Now, it doesn't always feel like that, trust me. But I like to keep that mindset. And this external resistance can look like people asking you to do things you've already decided you weren't going to do anymore. Whether it's you devote yourself to going to the gym and you can't spend as much time with your social group, friends, family, whatever the case may be, right? Or shit, let's just use a very common one to get the point across. Smoking. Let's say you want to quit smoking or quit drinking, right? Even if it's like a verbal or non-verbal declaration, you're always going to be met with the external resistance, though it's going to be in small cues. Now transformation is different. Transformation is simply compounded change. Small decisions repeated over time, stacking up until one day you're not that same person anymore. But here's the cost. To the outside world, it looked like shit happened overnight. People start saying things like, "What happened to you?" Or "You changed." Or my favorite one, the old you card. Folks like to pull that card a lot. I tell you that. And yeah, you did change. But what they didn't see was the process, the quiet nights, the battles, the decisions you made in silence, the wars you won or lost in silence. To them, it's sudden, seemingly overnight. But to you, it's been happening, and still, it's continuing to happen. The price of transformation is being misunderstood. I'll give you an example. Everybody attributes this to women, but this is a gender-neutral thing. When a person has already made up their mind about leaving a relationship, it seems instant, right? "Quote unquote" happened out of the blue. They just left. Now, granted, this is not the case for every fucking relationship, I'm aware. But the point is, they didn't just leave just because. It wasn't, oh, it just happened. There was small but monumental or nonverbal, subtle compounding that eventually caused that person to just up and leave, quote unquote, so suddenly. Regardless, the price and the cost you pay for transformation is the external world will see it as overnight, and most would never understand the amount of effort it took for you to transform. Keyword, most. And I just want to share this because I've fell into that loop plenty of times. And if you know about loops, I spoke about it in my last video. It's easy to fall in the loop of, oh, nobody understands me, nobody, I'm always misunderstood, this and the third, and trust me, I found myself slipping into that paradigm every so often, but the key word is most. There are damn near, 8 billion motherfuckers on this planet. At the bare minimum, at least 1 million will understand you, even if they're not physically present. But the main important thing is that, and this might sound cliche and this might sound basic to people who have already reached that point, but you don't need nobody to understand you. And even with myself too, I'm realizing that majority of my life, I'm definitely going to be misunderstood. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That just goes to show. And that's what's the word? For lack of better words, that is a reflection. That is a consequence, there we go, of my depth and substance. Evolution. That's my favorite word. I love that word so much. This one here is different. With transformation and change, you are still able to orbit, still being able to somewhat stay connected to those whom you once associated with pre-change and pre-transformation. But evolution, it separates you completely. It's like you get picked up out of your environment and flung somewhere else. An example, because this comes to mind, Finding Nemo. If you watched it, y'all remember Darla, the little girl with the little braces, and she had the fish. Now again, it's been some time, so I'm working off recollection here, but she was shaking the hell out of that bag, right? Imagine that is essentially what evolution, the cost of evolution is. It's being picked up, shaken a little bit, and dropped off somewhere else, somewhere new, somewhere too foreign as fuck. And you don't even get time to prepare for it, despite you being in that journey of evolution. That's what evolution is. It forces you into a new space, a new mindset, and a new version of yourself. The price that you pay, you outgrow the ones you love. You outgrow the environment, and you even outgrow parts of yourself that can leave you feeling quote unquote lost or confused. And I'm not saying quote unquote to minimize it, but that lost feeling, from my perspective, I'm realizing that just means you're going in the right direction. Because if you're able to always know where you're going, it means you're doing something wrong. Being able to constantly predict where your life is going to end up, how your life is going to go, how your day is going to go even. Check yourself. I did. So trust me, this ain't from ego. But yeah, that's the cost of change, the cost of transformation, and the cost of evolution. Now, I would ask you, are you willing to pay for it? But hell, myself, I even have my existential moments where I'm like, damn, what if this, what if that? And I go into my mental space and I replay all these moments, and I'm like, if only this, if only that. But again, if You're on that journey of self-improvement, whether we like it or not. Growth is never free.